right? Why is this thing... Oh, yeah, I gotta tighten this. Alright, what's going on? This thing is so messed up. Hold up. Hold up, we need to make some changes here before I get this stream started. There we go. Okay. Alright, I think that is going to be good. Okay. Can I fix my mic now? Alright. That should be fine. What was that about? Let's see. Let's open chat. Man, Fade, you are quick. Solar, what's going on? Membership is back. Yeah, it's back. It's back. It's back. It's back. Gotta start planning some stuff now. I got big plans. Getting my Discord worked on. My Discord should be made by tonight, but then I gotta figure out how I'm gonna set up the channels and stuff like that, and gonna put up some merch and stuff like that just for fun. Just start to expand the channel. You know what I mean? Get more people involved. But I appreciate the support, Fade. Seems like it's about to kick off here in the next 10. Salzburg, Indiana. Yeah, give me 1 second. I'm trying to... What is going on with... Here we go. 1 second. I'm trying to go get up live on TikTok as well. So give me 1 second. We'll just do that. Okay, we should be good to go there. Alrighty. We do have a tornado warning down in Indiana. So let's check it out. Just radar indicated. A little bit of spin on the reflectivity. Not much there, but not much there on the velocity, if I'm being honest. This is where we're looking at right here. This is where we're looking at the rotation. So I don't know what this is doing up here. This is where I see velocity. Pretty high velocities. But this just could be wrong. So there's a tornado warning up here, but there's something going on down to the south here. Let's take a look if we have anything going on the correlation coefficient. Yeah, I don't know what this is about up here. I don't know what that's about. I don't think there's a tornado on the ground there, but there could be, so you should be safe. I mean, you should get in a safe spot if you are up in Columbia, Connersville, like that name, and Metamora. But I think, again, I mean, on the radar, on the composite reflectivity, it looks like it's there. Okay, they dropped the tornado warning. Yeah, I was going to say, there's really nothing there. This, though... Let's take a look at this. Something's trying to spin. Why does this look like a clockwise rotation? This looks like a clockwise rotating funnel cloud. Not all tornadoes spin counterclockwise. Some spin clockwise. Including in the northern hemisphere. BT dubs, guys. Which is weird. Because cyclones only spin counterclockwise and low pressure systems in the northern hemispheres, but tornadoes are smaller events. Would love to know as soon as possible because it seems like it might be bad. Okay, here, let me take a look at where you are. Sellersburg. Ooh. You are in a severe thunderstorm warning with winds potentially at around 60 miles per hour and quarter hail. You know, the worst, this cell appears much worse to your north. This doesn't look like it's going to be heavy rain. Let's see what this storm's looking like. There is a little bit of shear up above your head. No sign of any sort of rotation. There's a little bit of hail, though, up here, and potentially a little bit of hail core here. Maybe a little bit of hail that's about to move into into Sellersburg. Overall, though, it's going to be a lot of wind and rain, I think. There's no rotation or anything dangerous here tornado-wise. You might get small hail and some strong winds and rain. Not looking too bad there. I think this severe thunderstorm warning has a lot more to do with this right here and this right here. Kyle, what's going on? One of the GFS panels has 40 inches of snow in the Philly area April 2nd. Yeah, I know. I saw that. We're not going to entertain that yet. Yo, what up? Watching the Joplin documentary. OMG, so good. I know. I actually wanted to watch that, and I was like, damn. I went on my TikTok and I told you guys I'd be streaming, so I'm doing this instead of watching that, and I really wanted to be watching that. I think I'm gonna watch it tomorrow because I'm gonna give my wife a break after work tomorrow. She's gonna go out, do her own thing, go to the gym. I'll be hanging out at home with my son. We'll just be chilling, and I think I'm gonna watch it tomorrow. I would love to watch it tonight after I get off stream, but tomorrow's another early morning for me. I'm waking up at like 5:30 a.m., so I don't think I want to squeeze in the movie. I'd rather feel good tomorrow. Matt, why is there power outages here? I can't talk. We had an unwarned tornado. Whoa. Yeah, you know, Matt, what I was just looking at, and I was telling him, this bad boy right here, both of these. Let me go back here. How many frames can I go back? Let's see if it'll let me go back this far. Okay, let's see what went through your area. You know, the direction this was going, you were in. The direction this was moving in, you were in these bands for quite a little bit of time. So can I look at what the velocity was back at this time? I want to look at this. Let's take a look back to the past. 1 second, guys. Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of shear up above your head. I mean, look at this. Let's see here. High velocity. There were some good cells that came through here. Interesting. Is your power still out? Saint, I appreciate it. Oh, you didn't lose it? There's just other people that power out? I need to stop doxing everyone. Guys, he lives somewhere here. You're in Noblesville, Indiana right now. Let's see if you're in the path of anything. This is Radar Omega. We're going to be looking at some other stuff, though, because I want to take a look at what the rest of March is going to be like for everyone. Really interesting things happening. I just went through this in Illinois. Reed Timmer was on my road. I'm so over storm season. Faith, storm season is just kicking off. It's like literally just beginning, unfortunately. Someone said, is Owensboro, Kentucky safe for the rest of the night? It is. It is. Yeah, this is an app, Radar Omega. Someone said something about, Noblesville. You guys are kind of in the clear. I mean, you've got another little squad. I don't think you're going to get much out of this thing back here, so I wouldn't worry too much. A little bit of rain. What's happening in Cincinnati? You've got a lot of severe weather that's about to move through. That's what's happening in Cincinnati. Not impossible to get a little spin up here. Probably wouldn't be an extremely strong storm, but I would have weather alerts on. This is probably going to be associated with just a lot of rain, wind, and hail. You could get another tornado or two out of this, though. It's possible. It is. Shelbyville, Kentucky going to get hammered? Are you going to get hammered in Shelbyville, Kentucky? Or is Shelbyville, Kentucky going to get hammered? Shelbyville, Kentucky. Yeah, this is headed for you. Again, chances for tornadoes have kind of gone down. But some strong winds. Decent hail and rains coming your way. Same with Louisville. I'm a little bit worried about this cell right here to the southwest of Louisville. I think this could be capable of producing a tornado. You know, if it does, maybe not a strong one. I don't know. I'm a little bit concerned. Just keep alerts on, keep updated. I think you guys are probably fine here. There's not really strong rotation or anything here. It looks really good on the reflectivity though. It's a really strong hail core, and it feels like there's clockwise rotation in this, which would make no sense. But I don't know. That cell's making me a little bit worried. But as of now, we don't really see much rotation on the velocity radar, and I think you're chilling. Connor's Weather Dungeon. Connor's Barber's back. What is going on? Celine needs a cut. What's going on, Celine? That's scary. Cincinnati here. Any suggestion on what's the best weather app for alerts? AccuWeather has great alerts. Radar Omega has good alerts as well. I mean, it's best to keep it on. Like, you can keep it open when you sleep, and you can just keep tornado warnings on. But what you can do is in your you go into your settings on your phone. If you have an iPhone, I don't know how it works on an Android. You go into your settings on your phone, you go into notifications, and you scroll all the way down to the bottom of notifications, and you make sure public alerts are on. And if there's a tornado warning in your area, your phone should notify you. It should. Oh, Fade is back. Fade is back. What's going on, dude? Yeah, it's one person with all these accounts. Commitment is what it is, okay? I'll pull my chat back out. Richmond, Kentucky getting anything? By the time it's out there, it's probably just going to be some rain and wind. There's nothing too severe going on. Here's the areas I'd say that want to watch out right now. These cells through here do look pretty strong. So this is going to be heading out towards, I mean, really, so do these down here. We're going to be watching. This is a pretty good squall line here, honestly. So this is going to be moving off in this direction. So we'll watch Cincinnati down to Maysville, down to Lexington, maybe Dayton, Ohio. This is going to start to weaken a little bit as we get into the overnight hours. Tornado chances are drastically going down, but so no one's in like direct, there's no direct threat for any sort of strong tornado going through anyone right now. Just some bad weather. Confused Blom, what is going on? The tornado that was just there was just to the west of Cincinnati. It's since been lifted, or I think it was just south of Richmond. It's since been lifted. So it was a little bit of rotation. So you guys are fine. You guys are fine. I want to talk to you about. Whoa. Let me do this. I want to talk to you guys about some interesting stuff that's coming up here. It's going to keep getting it for a little bit, Confused Bond. I want to talk to you. Okay, we're down to a slight. So this is what we have now. Down to a slight still through Indiana, down into Kentucky, and in western Ohio. But again, here, I'll pull this up so you guys can see this. But again, as we go through the night, you can see where we have our marginal. That is because this thing's losing a little steam. It's losing the cape. So these storms are going to start to weaken slightly. You could still get some severe weather out there. Did I get a haircut? Yeah, like a week ago. Where have you been? So anyways, we still do have this day 5 watch, and I want to talk to you guys about this. We need to look at some models. Weather models. Let me be more specific. Weather, the nerdy models. This isn't that kind of page. Jose, I appreciate you. Let's see here. Okay, watching you. You haven't noticed? Okay, so here's our storm, right? Here's our storm right now. Moving through. Here's our severe weather. A little bit of snow still falling into portions of northeastern Iowa and central Wisconsin. Cold air is pushing in behind this bad boy. And we got a weak little pathetic squall line pushing out towards the coast. We're not really going to have much sheer or energy out here for too bad of severe weather. We're going to be in a general thunderstorm warning tomorrow. It's going to be annoying, but it's not going to be anything dangerous, most likely. A little bit of snow for inland New England as well. And then we start to fall into this cold pattern out east. We're going to start to want to build a ridge out west and some troughing out east. We're going to have one little push of winter for you guys out here in the east, just letting you know. But this is our first concern right here. As we get into Sunday morning, we've got another low pressure system moving up through portions of the northern plains into the Midwest. Projected right now to be a 998 millibar central pressure. Nothing too strong. But we're going to have some instability down here to the south. And we're going to have enough moisture down there to where we could get a big explosion of thunderstorms. And in my opinion, and I don't know if Matt's still in here because I want his opinion because I don't trust myself. No, I'm just kidding. In my opinion, this has been looking less and less scary. The lower to mid-level jets just don't look like they're cranking the way they should be. The dew points aren't anything impressive. They're there, but they're not anything too impressive. The Cape is the most impressive thing, but without the good dew points and without the velocity, without the shear, it doesn't mean much. So, but there's potential here. There's a lot of potential here because this setup would allow for a lot of kind of discrete cells potentially. I want to show you guys what's going on here. Here's our mid-level jet as this system starts to pick up. Okay, this is where all of our Cape's going to be down here. Look at this. Look at where our velocities are up here in the jet. They're not down there. They're not down there to the south. Matt, are you here? Look at our 850 millibar. Okay, these are the winds near the surface. I mean, maybe you get a little bit of severe weather through eastern Oklahoma, northern Arkansas. Right now, the jet's just not jetting. Do you guys know what I mean? The jet is just not jetting. So, I had a hunch. About this. They put this as a day 7 slight, and I was like, you know what? It might go moderate. It stayed slight here. It stayed slight here. So I did a little bit of investigating, as one does. And I think that's the issue. I think the timing and the amplification of the trough just ain't it. Now, this could change. Everything's very variable. We could see that trough amplify. If that trough digs a little bit farther down into the south, game on. Because that trough digging farther to the south and allowing more of a southwesterly flow, that will help the dew points. So what we need is higher dew points and higher velocity winds, more shear. If that trough digs down, 2 of those problems will be solved. And suddenly we've got Cape, shear, probably a good amount of helicity, and some good dew points. So now, is there any model here that digs this really quickly? And I'm going to get to chat and I'll start answering your questions. Is there any model here that digs this jet a little bit farther to the south? No, not even the GFS. Let's look at our 850 on the GFS. I mean, the low-level jet's okay. This barely looks like a slight day, if I'm being honest. Do we have the NAM on this? I don't think we have the NAM on this, but we'll check. Let's look. Not quite yet. Okay. All right. Anyways, I want to get to chat. I know you guys got questions. Severe weather-wise, I'm watching. No tornado warnings down right now. A couple severe thunderstorm warnings. If you guys have bad weather going over you, maybe a little small hail, some wind. No one looks to be in immediate danger right now. I'm looking at the severe weather that's moving on. I'm keeping my eye on this. So don't you worry. We've got only four severe thunderstorm warnings down. Really only one that is concerning to the west of Cincinnati. You still have some time there, but there's not really much rotation happening here. So I just took a look at the radar. I did want to show you guys something that you might find entertaining. Okay, this was the last thing. Please bear with me. This is pretty entertaining. You guys want to see what the GFS is doing? Let's see. I haven't seen the 18Z. Here's some snow for potentially northern Jersey into New York City and up the coast. I don't think this is going to happen, though, guys. Don't get your hopes up. On Sunday. And then here's some more snow into New England and Boston. And here is some snow here's a blizzard into Chicago, into Indiana, Ohio, into Virginia, West Virginia, into the DMV. And then here is a big nor'easter setup for all of the mid-Atlantic. Don't get your hopes up, guys. This is a one-off. We do not have agreement on other models of this. But a broken clock's right twice a day. The GFS gets it right every now and then. The GFS has actually nailed a few winter storms this year when I literally was like, not going to happen. Well, I never said not going to happen because I always leave my options open because I don't understand how these models work. But it's not a complete impossibility. That's all I'm saying. I don't think it's going to happen. But there's a lot of snow down here. Now, let's compare that to the latest Euro, which is probably going to be in no agreement with it. As you see here, no agreement with it, with this snow down here. Maybe a little bit more into Chicago. So, and in a quick comparison to the Canadian, not happening. But the GFS is really confident. GFS is really confident, guys. Anyways, all right, chat. What's popping? Talk to me. Well, Chicago's bad weather's out of there. We're watching this event right here next week, Sunday morning potentially into Sunday afternoon. This could be some bad weather, severe weather, really from the Midwest all the way down into South Central and into the deep South region. But right now, looking a little sloppy. Not, jets not jetting. Dew points aren't dew pointing. I think we need to keep an eye on the storm for Sunday into Monday. Well, we're going to definitely keep an eye on it. You guys want to know what I'm worried about? No, I'm not really worried about it because this is so far out. But this. Okay? This would be a absolutely monstrous 3-day severe tornado outbreak. This would make our last tornado. This would be a 300 tornado type tornado outbreak. Now, I'm not really nervous because this is at the end of the run. A lot of times these things don't come to fruition when they're at the end of the run. So this isn't something to be immediately concerned about. But if we were to see this pattern, boom, 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 this would be insane. And just so you guys understand how insane that would be, give me a second. Just so you guys understand.
Hello?
Are you seeing the end of the 12Z Euro, the craziness?
I have not looked at anything since this morning. I can double check and look here. What's it showing?
Here, I'm gonna FaceTime you. Don't say anything incriminating. You're on stream.
No, you're good. You're good.
All right, I'm gonna FaceTime you. I'll just show you the. He hung up on me, guys. Yeah, everyone's still good. Radar's chilling. Couple severe thunderstorm warnings. No rotation. I'm gonna pull up the radar in a second, guys, and we'll get back and checking on that. But we've got no rotation in the squall line right now, so it's just some bad thunderstorms moving through portions of Kentucky and into into Ohio right now and in eastern Indiana. What the heck? All right, he's hanging up on me. Oh, there we go.
I think we tried to call at the same time.
Probably. Look at this insanity at the end of this Euro. Okay, ready? Watch. Just watch. This back to back to back surface lows. Check this out. You've got kind of like a squall line. Then you've got ejection, ejection, ejection again.
Let's go Euro.
Like actually insanity at the end of this run. This is, bro, this would be 3 or 4 days of severe of tornadoes. Anyways, yeah, you know, it's I told Chad it's so far out, it's nothing to worry about. But if that were to play out like that, it would be catastrophic. But it's at the end of the Euro run.
People got videos of a wall cloud moving through our county when our storms came through.
Really?
We had power flashes. I'll send you the video that we're showing about when we were live. But we had power flashes and everything. But 70% of the county is without power.
Lucky.
Yeah.
No, that sucks. But you guys got power.
Yeah, we're good to go. We're here. Kids are warm. Sleep. We're good.
Nice. You clearly got good karma. All right, I'm gonna keep streaming. I'll talk to you a little bit later.
Sounds good, bub.
Peace. All right, guys, here's a live radar. Not much going on. Let's take a deeper look at these storms and see if there's anything to be concerned about. A little bit of high velocities out here to the west of Eaton, Ohio. A little bit of rotation in here, potentially, again, to the southwest of Eaton, Ohio. I'm not highly concerned with that, but, you know, this could be a funnel cloud out to this just to the west-southwest of Eaton, Ohio. That could be a funnel cloud. No debris, so that's good. But Eaton, I would pay attention to that. It does not look like a tornado on the ground, but it could be a funnel cloud, meaning it could produce a tornado. But we don't see a tornado on the ground right now. This is concerning. Moving into Madison. Is that Madison, Indiana? We don't have a severe thunderstorm warning here, but I'm not. There's some high velocities here. And so Madison, Indiana, and this is probably moving up towards Florence and Cincinnati. I don't know why this isn't warned, but I don't know. They might want to consider warning that, you know? Let's take a look at a couple things here. They might want to consider warning this. There's some turbulent air there. I would warn that. But what do I know? And then let's take a look at this one down here to the south that's about to head right through Radcliffe, Kentucky. Some good velocities down here. Again, this could be a funnel cloud. Not a tornado on the ground, though. It doesn't seem. Yeah, doesn't seem so. Maybe a little bit of hail here. High spectrum one. Yeah, a little bit of hail here, potentially. So nothing too crazy. I would pay attention, again, if you're to the southwest, or if you're in Eaton. This is wanting to spin up here. This still looks like a funnel cloud to me. So, and then Cincinnati, they might end up warning this. It's probably going to start off as a severe thunderstorm warning heading towards you, and then we'll see if it does anything tornadic wise. But so that's what we're looking at right now. What's going on up here? Nothing special. 1 second, guys. 1 second, chat. Nothing too special. Nothing too special. You're all safe right now, except for Eaton. Eaton's not safe. I'm just kidding. Eaton's probably good. I do think they need to warn this cell down here, though. I'm annoyed that this cell right here isn't warned. I'm starting to see rotation in the composite too, right there going over Madison. I think they need to warn this, and this is headed in this general vicinity. I didn't mean to point that right at Cincinnati, but I you know. That could be I mean, is anyone here in Madison, Indiana? Is it really windy there? Can someone tell me? Because this to me looks like a very strong funnel cloud, if not a tornado on the ground, heading through Madison up towards Pleasant, Rising Sun, Burlington, and Cincinnati. It's been windy all day. You're in Cincinnati? We'll have to see. I'm keeping my eye on this. I think they're going to warn that. They should have already. 4 miles north of Madison. You talking about up here? What's going on up here in Madison? Not too much right now. Miamisburg, Ohio. Oh, it looks like you were in the ocean. I was like, what? Yeah, I mean, you got a strong thunderstorm out to your strong swell line out to your west here. So Dayton, you're basically Dayton. Dayton. There's there's a little bit of rotation in here. It's a funnel cloud. Doesn't mean that you have a tornado on the ground. This one is a little bit concerning. It's trying to get itself together. There's not really a clean inflow here. So it's a little bit congested. You're not going to get a super strong tornado out of that, but it's possible it could put something on the ground. This is concerning to me because you do have the possibility for some a good inflow here to feed this cell. And so I would like them to warn this. Yeah, I mean, look at these velocities too. Me no like this at all. Let me take another look at a couple things. Okay. I guess we'll trust the National Weather Service. Gonna get some sleep. See you. See you, Fade. Have a good night. Sorry, didn't see that at first. I find it interesting how this has been in the GFS forecast. I know, Kyle, it's been in the GFS forecast for like 48 hours now. All this snow. It's holding on to it. What's going on, Jenny? What's going on, Melissa? I appreciate that, Confused Blonde. Jose, what's popping? I appreciate that. Give me 1 second, guys. Dayton, Ohio. Yeah, Dayton, Ohio, you've got a cell out to your west that looks like it could produce a tornado. It's just a funnel cloud right now, though, so nothing to be too worried about. I don't think there's anything on the ground there. So, but some hail and wind is likely. I'm watching it to see if it produces a tornado. Even if it does, it probably wouldn't be very intense. It's a little bit congested. So, let's see here. Okay, I'm gonna put this up over here. Let me pull this back. There we go. There we go. Confused Blonde with the GOAT. I'm doing atmospheric physics in university next year. Any tips or advice? Yeah, get a tutor. Physics is hard enough as it is. I mean, listen. Meteorology is the study of the atmosphere, so of Earth's atmosphere. Everything happens in the atmosphere. We don't care about stuff on the surface that much. So it's the most important part. You know, all these models do all the physics for you. Do all the math for you. But what's it called? You got to know how the sausage is made, though. It's important to know how the sausage is made. Is that the saying? I don't know, guys. I feel like that's an old person saying. I don't know. Radar Omega or Radar Scope, and why? Which is better? I've never used Radar Scope, so Radar Omega. I don't know. Radar Omega does everything I need. Especially during hurricane season, I can watch hurricane hunters drop barometric pressure readers in the hurricanes live, and I can see the updated millibars, and all the updated data, wind speeds, flight level, knots, and all that stuff before you even see it on the NOAA site, before you see it on anywhere. Like you get first access to it. You can watch storm chasers or tornado chasers live on here. I don't tend to do it as much on stream because if you watch them too long on stream, you can get copyright. But you can watch the tornado chasers live on here. It's got models. It's got good live radar. It's very smooth and reactive. Yeah, I mean, there's not much Radar Omega can't do. It's definitely more of a radar live satellite app than it is a model app, but you have models. I mean, I can go in here right now and pull up the HRRR 00Z. Boom, that easy. Now I just went from a radar to a model. And here's, future radar. So it's like super easy. And then boom, I'm right back to a model. And let's get down to the severe thunderstorm. It's that easy. This is live. So you can do most of this with the free version. The up to date with like Hurricane Hunters and the watching like the tornado chasers and some of that stuff. You need like the $11 a month thing. It's not that much, but I pay for it. Any tornadoes heading towards Lima? Lima what? Peru? Oh, Lima, Ohio. Yeah, huge one actually. No, I'm just kidding. No, you look good right now. You're looking solid. Wow, you guys have no radars near you. Oh my gosh. You're like so far from all radars. Almost in the dead zone. Yeah, I mean, this is a lot of this isn't going to produce any tornadoes here. So, you guys should be good. This is just going to be some heavy rainfall. Cloud tops aren't very high. You need higher cloud tops than this. A little more energy. If you had higher cloud tops here, meaning darker reds and pinks, that would represent stronger updrafts. You need very strong updrafts to produce tornadoes. So these likely nothing tornado produced in here, just some rain. Not likely. There is no tornado that's going to be produced in there. Anything for Columbus tonight? These storms are really, really going to start to fade in strength as they get really past Springfield. So it's possible. A little EF1, EF0 could move through the Columbus area. Probably just going to be rain. Maybe a little bit of light hail and some strong winds tonight for Columbus. No, I'm not expecting any major severe weather. What's going on with this storm down here? Okay, so it's kind of falling apart. That's good. Cincinnati looks to be safe right now. Northwest Indiana. You guys are doing A-okay. Got a little bit of rainfall. Severe weather's past you. I mean, this is all going to be just, precipitation, normal precipitation. We do have some back end snow that's going to want to push through tonight. I don't really think much of this is going to stick anywhere out here. Detroit should be good. Detroit's going to get some strong winds and heavy downpours tonight. No tornadoes or significant severe weather is expected. Leanne, what's going on? Radar Omega has a lot better UI to me and much easier to see everything at once. Yeah, I should try that other app just so I can make an opinion, I guess. I really should. Louisville. You do have a very strong squall line that's about to move through. I will say that, Louisville. No, nothing. There's a little bit of a hail core in here. Someone could get some pretty big hail in Louisville here. Maybe ping pong size or bigger. Inch or two. Not seeing any sort of scary rotation out of this. This is going to be any second now. You're going to have any minute now. You're going to have some really strong winds, downpours, and maybe a little bit of hail across portions of Louisville. But I don't think you're in any sort of immediate tornado threat. This is a pretty decent hail core, though. Someone gonna get hailed on. Monticello, Kentucky, South Central area. I'm so fed up with Mother Nature. Listen, Dixie Alley is supposed to be brutal. And Dixie Alley, Dixie Alley is technically here, but we all include Kentucky and Dixie Alley. Even though you technically should be more Hoosier Alley, Dixie Alley needs to be expanded to like this. There's your Tornado Alley out there. So, again, these storms, the more they continue off east, the more these things are losing steam. Even if we did see another tornado out of this, squall line here, this QLCS, we probably wouldn't see more than the EF1, EF0. It could knock a tree down, do some damage to a roof. But these storms are dying down. They're losing their juice. What's the snow total so far from this system? There's always a big lag on snow totals. We can see we can go take a look though. Here, let's do that. Let's do that really quickly. Let's take a look, because we've had some good snow. Let's pull this here. 1 second, guys. Okay. There we go. Just want to get this all in here. All right. Let's take a look at the snow totals we've had so far. Some places have gotten a lot of snow. Some places have gotten a lot of snow. Here we go. Where is it in my bookmarks? I have everything bookmarked. Come on, where are you? Somewhere in here. What the heck? I got to get better organized. There we go. All right, so remember, some of these totals are 2 to 3 hours behind, so they're going to go up. We've got a 14.5 inches in northern Illinois or northern Iowa. We've got a 12-inch out to the west of Lincoln, Nebraska. We've got a 6-inch. Oh, I nailed Omaha. I said, I even though we had one showing 10 inches, 12 inches, I said, not to toot my own horn or anything, but I'm gonna, guys. You know that. I said I thought 5 to 6. Go pull up my VOD from yesterday. Okay, and the numbers are all over the place, but in general, we've got 5, 6, 5, 5, 6, 6, 5, 5. Now some of these are just going to be random, but in general, this was a 5 to 6 area. All right, pat on the back for Omaha. I did good there. Yeah, some pretty big. The highest totals I'm seeing right now are in Iowa. But again, these totals up here aren't fully counted yet. So, like, we're already seeing 9 inches. We're already seeing basically 10 inches into portions of Wisconsin. And this stuff is still falling. We're seeing 9 inches in portions of Minnesota. This stuff is still falling. So, we're going to end up with a foot into portions of Minnesota and Wisconsin. Iowa may end up being the big winner. Although, a foot down there in Nebraska, too. And wow, we did get some big snow in Kansas. 10 inches in portions of central Kansas. I don't know what the heck this is. Guys, someone got 60 inches of snow. No, this is wrong. I don't know what the heck that's about. What is this about? No one got 60 inches of snow there. 72 inches, guys. Someone got 72 inches of snow in Kansas. That's a lie. So, yeah, that's what's going on there. Any more snow anywhere else? No. Yeah, no, this is wrong. This is like a total error. Like the 72 inches did not fall to the southeast of what city is this? Kearney, Nebraska. Yeah, no. It did not. Yeah. Sorry, I'm looking at some of these totals. They're hilarious. Okay. Let's get back to the weather. I'll check to make sure none of you guys are in any danger. Still nothing bad. Still nothing too bad going on the radar, so don't worry about that. Weather in Madison, Indiana. Someone said funnel cloud in Brownstown, Indiana. Yeah, we'll look at that. I saw a possible funnel cloud, but that's all it was, a funnel cloud. You know, funnel clouds aren't always going to produce tornadoes. Sometimes they will. Sometimes they won't. So let me take a look at that. We can quickly push back into the radar if you want. No one wants to talk about the rest of March, huh? All right, let's quickly look into the radar, get an update. Here we go. Let's get into reflectivity. So this was extended, and this is the one I said it looked like we had a funnel cloud. So we did get an extended thunderstorm warning. This is what I'm talking about. That's moving just through Eaton / to the northwest of Eaton, up to the northwest of Dayton, Ohio. Again, there was a little bit of rotation there before. Not looking super strong, not looking super concerning. But, you know, these are high cloud tops. You're going to have some hail and very strong winds associated with this moving up towards Pequot, Troy, Tip City, New Carlisle, and just to the north, Trotwood, just Brookville, and just to the north of Dayton. So that could do some damage with that wind. Let's take a look at some of this high-res velocity. And then we've still got the severe thunderstorm warning down here, which, again, also isn't looking too concerning. But, you know, Louisville, you're about to get into some pretty bad weather. This is a really strong, possibly funnel cloud-producing cell right here heading up towards Hillview, Mount Washington, Jefferson, Middleton, Simpsonville, and Shelbyville. So, Shepherdsville. Kentucky there, so I'd watch out for that as well. But there's no tornado on the ground. No, Nashville's kind of at the tail end of a lot of this stuff. We have some more weather down here, you can see. But this isn't supposed to be, we're not expecting too much out of this at this point. Let's go to our single site radar and take a look at this one, this cell right here. Let's take a look at this. Nothing too scary going on over here. Just a strong thunderstorm that's going to blow through Nashville. Salisbury, Indiana. It's getting real windy and slight hail here. You guys are almost out of it, I think. Well, here, let's go back there. Or is it Sellersburg? That's what it was. Yeah, Sellersburg. Yeah, I mean, you guys are getting close to. You'll soon be on the other half of this squall line. So you guys are good. You guys are like right in that kind of significant. Right under the QLCS there. Right under the QLCS. So, weather's about to get a whole lot better for you. Although, you know, who knows? You know, this is moving really up to the north and northwest. So you may get a secondary, decent thunderstorm out of this. But you're kind of out of the water when it comes to a tornado. So you should be good. You're the only weather guy on right now, I think. Right? So thanks. No problem. I'm not going to be on much longer. And that's only because our tornado chances are really dropping. the farther this thing pushes east, we're getting into much more, there's much more stability in the atmosphere out here, and you need instability for tornadoes. So anything to worry about for northern Kentucky? Some Pam just slides in gold mine. I appreciate you, Pam. Shout out to Pam and Yali. What's going on, Yali? I appreciate that. I didn't even see that. I gotta look back over here. And Julia's in here. Marla, Cindy. Appreciate you guys. I appreciate you, Pam. Yeah, listen, Kentucky, you've got this squalling. This is what we call like a QLCS, quasi-linear convective system. It's capable of producing tornadoes that are typically weaker, EF2 or below, typically only EF1 or EF0. But you can have 60 to 70 mile per hour gusts associated with some of these very strong thunderstorms and potentially some big hail. Right now, as this thing's moving off to the east, it's losing a lot of the things that make these thunderstorms strong. Okay, we're losing the heat of the day. It's cooling off. It's losing some moisture here. Our cape is evaporating. We're not going to have these major updrafts out ahead of this system anymore. So it's starting to become more of a line of thunderstorms instead of a line of severe weather. But we've got about another hour or two where this thing could try to spin something up or produce some pretty strong weather. But it's getting to the end of its life here. Appreciate the follows. Appreciate the subs, guys. Thank you. Pam, do you remember what I said? How much I thought for Omaha? Newbie, what's going on? Yes, you had thunder snow in Omaha today, and once again, I am jealous. Casual thunder snow. Yeah, I called the 5 to 6, and then I said you could get up to 9 locally, depending. And it looks like that the general consensus was 5 to 6. We can see good 6-inch, 5-inch, 5-inch, 6-inch, 5-inch, 6-inch, 5-inch, 5-inch, 5-inch. So some areas are reporting less. I doubt they got 2.5. Well, I doubt they got like 2.5 here and then 5.5 and 5.5 here. This is probably a miss. Sometimes they aren't reporting it correctly. Yeah, and exactly. And you can see up here as you go up to the north, you're seeing like 9 inches up here. A lot of these aren't fully reported yet either. Now down to the southwest, we're getting reports of a foot out to the west of Lincoln, which is interesting. And 72 inches out here to the west of Hastings, Nebraska. This is obviously an error, Pam. That's obviously an error. They did not get 72 inches of snow. The big winner looks like Iowa right now with 14.5 inches, although Wisconsin's still piling up and they have 10 inches. It's still snowing there. The winds were crazy. Yeah, you guys had crazy winds. Guys, Omaha had thunder snow. Omaha had thunder snow. So really quickly. So jealous. Can I pull this back here? Yes, I can. I don't think it's going to go back far enough for me, but I'm going to try. How's Central Kentucky looking? Looking fine. You're going to get a line of bad thunderstorms, but right now we don't see anything too severe for Kentucky with this squall line moving through. Oh, man, it's not going to let me rewind all the way. Yeah, Omaha was crazy. You guys, I'm pretty sure you guys started off with thunderstorms and then pushed over to snow, but there was still lightning out in the distance. I was watching some videos of it. Yeah, good to see you too, Pam. Thanks for stopping by as always. Is there snow heading towards Belleville? Belleville where? Cincinnati, Ohio looks okay right now. You're going to have some strong downpours and possibly some hail and wind, but we've got really the tornado parameters are pretty low right now as the squall line moves out to the east. So, not too much to worry about here right now. I quickly want to go over few interesting things that are going to be happening this weekend and next week that you guys might want to be aware of. So we'll go to our Euro. This storm's going to move out. We got some cold air settling in. This is going to be interesting. Right now, we have a 5-day risk for down here. We could end up getting a risk for severe weather up here. This does include portions of Nebraska, Kansas, potentially Missouri, Iowa, Illinois, Indiana, Kentucky. So we'll watch that. The big target looks to be down here as the day moves on, as we get into Sunday evening, this upcoming Sunday evening and into Monday morning. Right now, and I spoke about this earlier, and I spoke about it in my video today, our jet, our low-level jet and our mid-level jet are cranking to the north. I think we're going to have an issue. We're not really going to have the shear or the dew points that we need down here to have a big severe weather outbreak or tornado outbreak, which is good. But things can change. There's still time for this to change. But, again, this is going to put some more snow up into some portions of the northern Midwest. Now, the GFS is doing all sorts of crazy things that I want you guys to see. The GFS is scooping a lot of snow back down into the Midwest and Northeast. And I don't think this is going to happen. But you can see what it wants to do on the 29th, 30th, and 31st. And then it wants basically a nor'easter April 2nd. And then maybe another one April 4th. I don't think any of this is going to happen. I'm just letting you guys know. The GFS has been calling this for like 2 or 3 days straight now. And I keep waiting for it to go just kidding and change because I just don't think this is going to happen. There's no other models that agree with it. But I would just say it's a very weak signal. So keep it far, far in the back of your mind because it's probably not going to happen. But the GFS swears that this polar jet is going to collapse. And we're going to have a major positive PNA ridge. And we're just going to have collapsing cold air and snow in this region, even into the mid-Atlantic as we push into April. I don't think it's going to happen. I think the Euro is correct, and we're going to get a polar jet collapse, but nowhere near as significant as what the GFS thinks. Something to think about. The GFS puts like 20 inches into Philly and like a foot in DC, Baltimore. I don't think it's going to happen. Do not think that's going to happen. What dew points do you need for storms? It depends. You know, it depends what time of year it is. If it's summer, you need higher dew points. If it's winter, you need lower dew points. Typically, when in spring, when we're looking at dew points, once you see dew points beginning to push into the mid-50s, you start to be like, okay, this could be bad. Once you get into the mid to upper 60s, you go, okay, there's a lot of energy here for storms. Dew points tell us how saturated our air is. And the more saturated the air is, if you have CAPE along with those dew points, which is what mainly creates the severe weather setup, that saturation is going to be rising very quickly up into the atmosphere. And that gas is going to be turning into liquid. And that process of condensation releases latent heat, and latent heat is the fuel for severe thunderstorms. So the more moisture you have in the air, it's just like gasoline for these storms. What's going on, Casper? But I would say once you get into the 60s in spring, you're really paying attention to those dew points. So just to show you what our dew points are looking like moving forward here. See, these are our dew points overnight. See, we're in the mid-50s. Down here, 60s. But you don't just need dew points. You need other things associated with the dew points. You know, this is the severe weather outbreak they've been concerned about this upcoming Sunday that we had a day 7 risk on. These dew points aren't impressive to me. I would think these would be a lot higher. That's why they probably have kept it as a slight. But this could change. We could really see a big change on that. This would be an issue right here. Getting, you know, the farther north you go, the less dew points it needs to work with. Getting 60 dew points all the way up here into almost southern Minnesota. This right here is what I was talking to Matt about earlier. Now, luckily, this is at the end of the run, but this would be a major. This would be 1, 2, 3. and potentially 4 tornado outbreaks back to back to back to back, 4 days straight. This would be a 300 tornado outbreak. If it played out like this, it's probably not, I mean, guys, this is the end of the run. This is going to change a million times. This is just a crazy thing that the Euro's seeing at the end. This is just, look at this. Imagine this just being, imagine there's a bunch of, you know, flames right here. And this is oil, right? Oil. And then suddenly the atmosphere goes like this and just shoots all of that oil and gasoline up onto the flames. And then instability everywhere. That's what's happening. Just imagine that, okay? It's just spitting all that gasoline up into the US. Now, it means nothing if you don't have any lift, because you need to lift this moisture up into the air for it to rise and release latent heat. But you can tell there's lift. Why can I tell there's lift? Well, you guys can see the cyclone. Here it is. That's helping to pull this moisture up. Here's your low pressure system right there. You see it spinning? So that's what's helping to pull it up. And there's going to be lift out ahead of this low, because you're going to have cold and warm air clashing here. Moist and dry air as well will create lift. So there it is. There it is. There it is. There it is. This would be crazy. Hopefully it doesn't happen like that. Okay. That's how you can look at dew points. Appreciate it, Yali. BC, what's going on? Julie, I appreciate it. Yali, Lindsay, Sassy, Feds, what's up? Newbie, what's going on? What does the blue mean? The blue is snow. Oh, were you talking about on the last map? I mean, that's just different colors for different levels of dew points. Blue is 60 dew points. Once you get into purple, that's 70 dew points. You know, the next one's supposed to be a little bit to your north, BC. But there's a really active pattern setting up in the Midwest and in the Northeast. The GFS loves the thought of snow returning to the Midwest. And the GFS has shown this for a long time, which BC I think would be fantastic for you, because this would be like 16 inches of snow in northwestern Indiana. But this is the only model that shows it. So it's an outlier. But if you want any hope, BC, that's a big snowstorm for northwestern Indiana on the GFS. I don't see other models agreeing with it, though. So is it a possibility? 100% yes. The GFS is seeing it as an outcome. But we need to wait to see more model consensus on it. The Euro has something similar. So the Euro has this same exact piece of energy moving down, has this polar jet collapse, very cold air. This energy, you can see some of this moisture in the air moving south, but it doesn't quite deepen and doesn't broaden. So the Euro actually has a similar setup as the GFS. It just doesn't put as much moisture there. So we're going to have to see. One of them is going to be correct. And for your sake, I hope it's the GFS. So we'll have to see. That time frame would be around the middle, the beginning into the middle of next week. 74 today in Western PA. Snow showers tomorrow night afternoon. Holy crap. 74 in Western PA? It was only 68 in Eastern PA. We can stay a little cooler closer to the coast, I guess. BC, I appreciate you. BC with everything. Thank you. Sheesh. Thank you, BC. And it keeps going. What about northeastern Kansas? Any bad storms for the month of April? I haven't quite done. You know what? I really need to do my April outlook. I got to do it this week. I'll do an April outlook this week. I would say Kansas, March 29th to March 31st, something's going on out here. All the models see some craziness. This would be a very bad severe weather outbreak for Kansas. It's far out in the model, though, so nothing to worry about yet, just something to be conscious of. We got to see how that progresses. PC, I appreciate you. I mean, yeah. I mean, if this were to happen at the end of this run, this would be tornadoes for like everyone. This is a crazy look here at the end of this run. Luckily, like I said, it's at the end of the run. A lot of times things change drastically, and we don't see these crazy setups when they're at the end of the run. Sometimes we do. That's why we have to keep watching it. Dawn said, "Are the storms going to move to Columbus, Ohio tonight? Keep their energy." No, they're weakening. They're weakening really quickly tonight. Let's actually take a look. Yeah, we've only got three thunderstorm warnings right now. We've only got 3 thunderstorm warnings right now, and none of them look too impressive. I'm not concerned about any of them. You know, you guys are going to see some strong downpours. Maybe, well, we did just get a new, let's take a look at this. I do have to get off here in a little bit. I'm going to get up early in the morning again, so, but we did just get a new, I'm not too concerned though. We're not expecting any big tornadoes tonight. Like I said, this thing is losing a lot its energy. We did get a new severe thunderstorm warning, so let's take a look at this. A little bit of a hail core there. Velocities pretty high. There's not much rotation though. I think this is really just has to do with maybe a little bit of hail associated with this and strong winds. I'm not seeing rotation with this either. So again, that's a good thing. Not impossible to get a tornado down with one of these, but it's just not. Nothing's looking too freaky on these to me. So there's a little bit of shear in here, but nothing insane. Our storm that is moving up towards Nashville has some high velocities. Again, nothing too concerning. I think this is going to be strong winds and hail for portions of Metro Nashville. And then this storm up to the north of Dayton again. Nothing's looking crazy. Typical QLCS. Not any sort of crazy rotation. Maybe a funnel cloud, but I don't think it's going to produce anything. Nothing is looking very dangerous on here right now, which is good. I have the app. How do you turn on the siren alerts? Yeah. So it depends. Do you have it on? Let me go up here. It depends. Do you have it on your phone or computer? I go up to these dots up here, and then I go down to Outlooks and monitoring. I go down to weather alerts. So dots, outlooks and monitoring, weather alerts. Click there, and then here's where you can turn on everything. I can turn on. I just have flash flood. I just have on my warnings because watches go out all the time. Watches are, hey, there's favorable ingredients in the atmosphere for severe weather, but there's no severe weather there yet. I just want to know when there's warnings. Where is the severe weather present, or else I just get too much blaring. We need to focus in on what's the most dangerous. So I go in here and I put on alarm. I click on a little thing and I put on alarm, and I have it flashing as well. This one should be flashing. I don't know why it wasn't. But typically, yeah, they're all flashing and alarm. And then you can set up for winter. I mean, look at all these different alarms. So it's pretty good. Yeah, not much going on in Detroit, Michigan. You're going to have some rain and some wind tonight. This is called Radar Omega. I do have to get off tonight. I will be back on tomorrow. I've been doing more of like 1 hour streams. I want to do longer streams. Life. I did a long video today. It takes like an hour or two to make, and I'll be doing a shorter video tomorrow. So over the weekends, I'll be doing double streams. So over the weekends, I'll be doing 2 to 3 to sometimes 4 hour streams. It depends. So that will help. I appreciate you guys all being in here. Again, there's nothing really to worry about right now with this. We have some severe thunderstorm warnings out. There's not much rotation with this thing, and it's losing a lot of energy. I would say if you're in portions of central to western Ohio, central Kentucky, central Tennessee, you probably want to have alerts on. It's not impossible for a little spin up to occur, but it's not very likely. Yeah, no problem, guys. No problem, BC. No problem, Pam. All the regulars in here, I appreciate you. Anyone who's new, stopped in here, I appreciate you. I post videos every day. I stream every night. Typically, I was doing it before 2-3 hours a night. I'm down to about an hour. to an hour and a half during the weekdays. But again, multiple hours and multiple streams on the weekends. I will be picking up again here, but I really appreciate you guys. I really appreciate the support and you guys stopping in the stream. I post videos every day. I'll have updates of all this stuff tomorrow. I'm looking to put together an April outlook, and we'll be talking about our severe weather next week and our snow next week. We have a lot, guys. The last thing I'm just going to show you, right before I get off, is we have a big change in our weather coming. Okay, big cold coming back out east and some warm headed back out west. You know, it's spring. The weather's bipolar. Right? Welcome to planet Earth. All right, everyone have a great night. I appreciate you guys. Thanks. I appreciate that, Lee. Yeah, this is what it is. It is what it is. It's Radar Omega. Radar Omega was the app I'm using. Everyone have a great night. I appreciate you guys. See ya.